Mexico is a beautiful country, beautiful weather, amazing people, amazing gastronomy. So it has a lot to offer as a new experience for anyone coming to live here. So that would be for me the main reward for any family or assignee living in Mexico. Challenges, well, I must say security. That's one of our main priorities. Security and keeping the employee and the business or the customers or clients aware of the security measures that should be considered. I think it depends a lot on where the employee is coming from. If we have clients or employees from Latin America, they are pretty much familiarized with the context in Mexico. But when we have employees or assignees coming from different countries, let's say Europe or Canada or the United States, we need to be more careful. We need to make them aware that they are safe, they are in a good place to live in, but still they need to learn, they need to be educated on how to protect themselves when it comes to security in Mexico. And secondly, I would say the challenge could be as well the language barriers and the cultural differences.
Key challenges, I think that today, so talking about 2022, COVID, as with any other location, has had a very high impact in the way that we move people. And Mexico, of course, is not outside of that. Today, one of the biggest challenges is immigration. And I know that as professionals, we are working towards understanding how this will impact the way that we move people, also about the timing and also about how we enable businesses to continue to be successful, even if we have to delay movement for a while. But then what are the rewards? Mexico is a growing country, and businesses have established themselves for a few years now, especially on the LATAM region, as Mexico being one of the key locations that they want to be in. We have seen a great deal of new companies enter the country. We have seen a great deal of new businesses wanting to develop in this country, and with that, it's amazing to see the growing opportunity that you would have entering Mexico, and again, taking as one of the key locations for Latin America, this country.
Mexican culture tends to be very flexible in terms of timing, in terms of the services they offer. So this may cause the foreigners coming to the country under a lot of stress. So for us, the challenge is how to offer services that are scheduled, that very organized, but working with the Mexican culture characteristics that are more flexible, in terms of what you can expect.
Mexico is a key location in the Latin region because of the size of their economy and the different industries that we have here in the country. We are leaders in different industries like automotive, grains, food, etc. Currently, the main challenge that we have as a country for foreign companies is the immigration side. We faced a new government a couple of years ago, and this change of government, of federal government, brought different approaches in the immigration policies. I mean, the immigration laws didn't change, but the way the authorities working did. So for the companies, this means that they have to consider additional times for immigration to get a work permit for a new employee than the times that we had in the past. So we're talking about between 6 and 8 months to get a work permit. This is quite long if we are talking about an important or a critical position. However, the company should be aware of this so they can plan accordingly their talent needs. On the reward side, it is really straightforward. All the benefits and all the allowances that you have to give. Affordable housing is ready for the companies. Also, global schoolings are available for the employees. However, maybe we only need to take a look on the hardship allowances depending on the home location of the employee. Generally speaking, in the practice, it's really common to see in the expert pay proposals that the companies are giving hardship allowances to employees that are coming outside the LATAM region. On the contrary, the employees that came as a home location from another LATAM country, it's not common that they receive hardship allowance because the living conditions are pretty similar, as well as the cost of living. However, if we are talking about different locations, we have to keep in mind that a specific point to make competitive our proposal and to avoid any talent declinement.
One big challenge in Mexico is the immigration part and the relationship with the government. Recently, we had a strong government change, which changed a little bit of the rules with the immigration portion. Also, the culture, it seems that Mexico is a really cosmopolitan country. However, it has really strong bonds and depending on the region. So the challenges will be the culture and mainly the immigration. Taxation is not that because there are strong firms that you can rely on. The rewards is having a really warm culture for the person who is moving to Mexico and their families is going to a really warm culture. Once that you get to know that and to live that, it's quite enjoyable.
I think Mexico as a country in general terms is very attractive for investors. We have all the infrastructure. We are prepared to receive new investments, especially Querétaro, where I live, is an important city for foreign investors. We have a lot of transnational companies here since many years ago. So that's important by one hand. And by the other hand, at an individual level or as employee or as an assignee, Mexico is a very good place to live. It offers many experiences. It has many places. People is open to receive people coming from other countries. We have a lot of, we're very prepared in terms of hospitality, the weather, the education, the health system, the places that Mexico offers to live, the gastronomy, the culture. Everything makes this a very good experience, and it results very attractive for anyone who has this in consideration.
First of all is the cultural richness that Mexico brings. We have these very culturally diverse location, even within Mexico as a country. So you would see people not having the same background when you go from north to south, going to center Mexico. So that allows for additional diversity and inclusion when it comes to global mobility, even when you move people within the same country. And when you talk about cross-border, it definitely brings growth to the table. One thing that I've seen in my experience is that when companies enter Mexico, they realize that as Mexico as a culture likes to have their branding. And with that, companies that have been successful in entering the country as a business have differentiated their business locally through a specific branding. And that has enabled, I think, the country to be continuously growing, continuously changing. And that is, I think one of the key things of why Global Mobility is so interested in also entering the country.
It's very challenging to come to Mexico because it's a big country. It's a very diverse country too.
I think that Mexico is attractive to foreign companies because the size of the economy. Mexico is one of the main economies in LATAM. We are leaders in manufacturing industries, automotive industries, among others. Generally speaking, we have 4 or 5 countries where the companies can try to establish their corporate offices. For example, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey, Querétaro, Puebla. So there are plenty of options to establish the operations here in Mexico, and we are really good connected. So I think that all the benefits that the country itself can offer, it's very interesting for the companies. And also we have a legal way to handle this kind of situations. The immigration is clear, the taxation is clear, the social security is clear, and we are competitive against other options within the region.
The thing with Mexico is the location. It has the beaches in 2 different oceans and the closeness to the US. Also, it is a main point sometimes to establish a Latin America center. But also this has comes and goes during the times, depending on the government helps that they're able.
Yes, my advice would be, and actually not only for Mexico, in general terms, what I've learned is planification, then planification, and in the end, planification. That's the key for every assignment. We need to set clear expectations with the assignee and the families since the beginning and avoid surprises as much as we can. So as long as we are able to planify, to keep frequent communication with the employees and to set clear expectations, everything else should be fine.
Always listen to the person. That would be my key top tip. What we do is personally. Again, it doesn't get any personal than moving your stuff. And with moving your stuff comes moving all of your stuff, which means your background, your culture, your person, your family, everything that you are is being transitioned to another country, another state, another culture. So always listen to the person, listen to what is it that their priorities are, what is it that they are concerned about. Because by listening to what they are concerned about and taking action on it, you will help in driving successful movement towards whatever it is that you are moving people to.
Currently, the main tip that I can give to anyone that is interested in exploring the option to begin operations in Mexico is to take care and put special attention on the immigration side. The timings are taking quite long than usual, so this should be the first point to take a look, because this is going to trigger all the other obligations as tax, housing, etc. So whenever your intention is to move an employee to Mexico, consider that immigration and work permit could be a point that can take a long time to obtain. And the second option and the second tip would be to consider the cost of living between the cities, the taxes that the employees are obligated to pay, and allowances needed, for example, housing or schooling. There is a plenty of options to offer to the employees, so it will depend of the company budget to provide to the employee.
It will be patience and open communication with all of the teams involved.
Muchísimas gracias por escucharme.
Muchas gracias por escucharnos.
Muchas gracias por escuchar este video acerca de México como destino para trabajar, para vivir y para aprender. En México hay muchas cosas interesantes que vivir. Espero que en algún momento decidan visitar o venir a trabajar al país.
Muchas gracias por su atención, por su tiempo en ver este video. Espero que hayan encontrado información de utilidad y que les ayude en su práctica.
Gracias por escuchar.